I've been rich on it. Solvent. I know. After choosing it, you know. Oh yeah. Screws, tags, wheels. Yeah. One of those together. It's just stuff that
This Greg is
and the source of true happiness and the value.
Just no question. Got to be able to young man some moderate degree of success. I was inclined to believe it
Forever.
I think one would have to live very many.
Should I fade in and out between takes, or should I fade in and out between takes?
I would do it between the main section.
Okay.
Like right there.
Anyway, you know,
No, it's true.
you know, we'll always do that.
It'll always do that.
Hi, everyone. My name is Steve Harrold. I'm a Northwest artist. And this is it's my very first one-man show, which is about as exciting as things can get for an artist. I've painted all my life. And this show is titled Teaming with Nature. And when you start to see some of the pieces and understand what I'm really playing with, the truth is we're all teaming with nature. It's absolutely incredible. The ideas, the colors, the textures, the seasons. If that's not enough material for a lifetime, then you're off to something else. But anyway, what's really exciting about this show is the fact that I try really, really hard to play with the fact that farmers and gardeners really do team with nature from a standpoint. In fact, I joke with farmers because to me they're landscape artists. One morning the field is green, and in that same afternoon the field is brown, and then it changes back to green, and it's like changing the palette constantly. I really do have the feeling too that forests and fields are very much like museums, and gardens and smaller areas of foliage are very much like galleries. It's kind of like, look at me, and they are just like this. They're one-man shows. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is move over to just reference a couple of pieces and show you a little bit about what. Okay, one of the things that's so fun to play with are the actual parts or pieces of nature, like a board. Or found objects. I play with found objects all the time, and in this case, I've emphasized the found objects in connection to the show and in connection to either farming or gardening, so that you can see the pedestals are not the average pedestals that someone would use to display artwork, but they really work, whether it's a wrought iron fence to a garden or the continuation of a hoe as a base of keeping the weeds out of a field. And this one is the game of continuing from a pitchfork coming through the ground in the opposite direction of norm and becoming sprouts or shoots of asparagus. So anyway, the main theme of what I try to do within a theme of a show is have as much fun as I can. And believe me, I really do have a lot of fun. So I'm really proud of this show. I hope everybody else enjoys it as much as I have enjoyed bringing it to you. I'd like to also make a real important comment that the IMA, the Auto Museum of Art, as far as I'm concerned, is home base. I love this museum. The people here are fabulous, and it's just a wonderful setup all the way around. That's also teaming. So the show is teaming with nature, but teaming with the IMA has been every bit as colorful and interesting and important. Thank you very, very much. Enjoy the show. Are those some comments that are usable? That's neat. I'll make sure I get you Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's not.
Have you seen this?
I'll be right
This is my grandson. Gary's going to give you recommendations to follow up.
Yeah, that's fine. We're on? We're live. I just want to make a couple of comments about a piece that I most recently did, and I consider it just like the thinking process. This is a combine, and what it's been, it's found objects. It's a edger mower, which I had for several years and always wanted to do something with. And I always knew in the beginning that it would probably be a combine, but I'm very happy with it. What I love about combines in the agriculture world, they're very much like the thinking process. A lot in, and you only keep, hopefully, what's of value. And that's exactly what a threshing machine or a combine does. So symbolically to me, this is an interesting machine that it's with a whole lot of rhythm and a whole lot of motion, and it's handling an awful lot of input and saving anything of value. And that's why I saved it. So anyway, thank you very much. That's kind of choppy, but we'll see. Perfect. You know, on a sunny evening, the last load or next to the last load being pulled across in front of the sun is just like a eclipse, you know, instead of an eclipse. So that's so
In the gallery for a day, 2 days, nothing
Clouds up here in one color.
Yes.
It's like almost separation of churches. It'll be like, this is stormy, and I'm looking over there, and there's a shadow of light. That's like a spatial picture, but it's not even. That's you couldn't do that. So inspires
That's one of the best times of the
Go in here.
That's right. Looking down the road, like a polo shirt, into the garden. Things to go on rock and a lot of your free rock. Well, what I wanted to talk about, is drawing the water. And then, when you start to see the play, the shadows, you start seeing even beyond the drawing, which is it's step between the two dimensions. Sketches and illustrations, caricatures, expanded it, but you're still doing it as if it was a pencil drawing. And it's very fascinating. Well, and the other thing, as much fun as it is to do a sketch or a drawing, just like we talked about this, to be able to ride that line all the way around, is another feeling. I mean, it's almost as if you're either skiing or snowboarding, versus riding the train. It's a whole different
I can barely touch the ground, you know, I almost had my palms down. As a representation of my flexi lack of...
Is it an old film? Oh, we might have shown something old. I know it was the League of Women Voters forum on the charter. I heard that meeting. Lots of people, lots of anger.
I learned just now that we had a discussion that we were going to allow to have.
We thought we'd introduce Steve Harrold, for those of you who don't know him. And I'd like to start by introducing the director of the museum for the moment, if I may, Wendy Smith. So Wendy's going to introduce our artist, Steve. Hey, Wendy.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We are thrilled to have this exhibit with Steve Harrold, who is just one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. Also a great conversationalist. Steve first came to us last year for our Green on the Edge show. He was juried in and had goats. His piece, out of the, I think it was 32 or 33 pieces, ended up being one of the most popular pieces in the show. Take anything away from any other artist. It appealed to everybody, and it was just comical because every time they'd come around the corner and see that piece, they would laugh, and it was just, I'm getting shivers right now. It was just so wonderful. Anyway, we have the great opportunity to ask Steve if he would do an exhibit for us here, and we are thrilled. This teaming with nature kind of shows the relationship between humans and nature in what we call a whimsical way. But as you can see, it's really deeper than that. It's not just whimsical, it's really pretty extraordinary. He does many other things, urban scenes. He's got something going with railroads right now. And one of my favorites is a whole series of different artists that he is portraying in his work. But right now we have Teaming with Nature, and we are honored and thrilled, and I'd like to present Steve Harrold.
Thank you so much. I tell you, I am so humbled. I have heard so many incredible comments from most of you that I've talked one-on-one with, and it is incredible. I mean, it makes you feel so good because I know how much I like the work. I know how much I enjoy doing the work, but it's really, really a blessing to have other people enjoy it. And that's where the value is. That is absolutely where the total value of doing artwork is. It's that feedback of keep going, keep doing it. It's not about what's that worth. It's not about making a name for yourself. It really isn't. It's really about able to do work that people just absolutely enjoy. And this show, and I got to give Wendy, who I'm going to miss so much, I love this museum. This museum has been my base. I've played around with artwork forever, and grew up in the Midwest, and spent a lot of time on the East Coast, and now, 30 years ago on the West Coast now. Mostly with corporations, but always doing artwork. But there's something so special about this museum, but there's also something incredibly special about the Northwest. And a lot of people get scientific about it and talk about the light, and they talk about it. But when it comes to nature, and you look around, I mean, you cannot help but be inspired. I mean, you do. You feel like helping nature finish painting the lilac bush. But when you watch things grow, I really do. I feel like the fun of this, and I know a ton of farmers, because I'm in the Mount Vernon area, actually right on Fur Island. And I tease them, because I call them landscape artists, because you'll get up in the morning and there's this green ground cover field, and by that afternoon it's brown again, and normally filled with either snow geese or seagulls. And then within literally a few weeks, it starts turning green again. It's just amazing. It's about life, it's about nature, and talk about a partner to team with. I mean, just to hang on to some of the ideas. And none of us is great. We've got painters in this room that are beyond belief. And I think to the person it would be, all you can do is try to hang on, because the colors in nature, and I was even explaining to someone, you know, gardens are gardens, but even the weeds, if they're not hurting anything, can absolutely be beautiful. It's, you know, I mean, you'd almost think Calder designed the leaves on. They're so interesting. The only other comment I would like to make is about the wire sculptures and not just tractors. But I really don't consider them sculptures. It's like drawing. I've illustrated for many years, and I've been very involved in storytelling. But I really like to think of those, or at least the way I do think of those, as drawing with wire. And then when they're lit, or the shadows, or whatever, but it really is like that. It's like getting so deep into a drawing, like sculptures do with stone or wood. But writing the wire like this is literally just drawing into the curves, into the folds, both sides, all the way around. And then I was also explaining on some of the found objects. I mean, it's you can say too much and you can sound like an idiot. But like on some of the found objects, and you've got stuff laying around, and believe me, for the people that have seen the place, I've got a lot of stuff laying around. But you can almost see you're looking for a specific shape or a size or a color. But the thing that's really funny, you can almost hear the object saying, "Oh, pick me," you know, because this is stuff that would be thrown away. It's, you know, and now it's under the lights. It's like it must be thinking, "Wow, what the heck's going on?" But anyway, I cannot thank everybody enough. It's wonderful. And the IMA, this display, you know, I tell you, the Whitney, you know, wherever I go from here, we'll never do a job like this. This is incredible. And I really especially, there's so many people I want to thank, and I thank, and I thank everybody for coming here. And not only the comments, but Wendy, I really want to thank you for the sponsorship, the friendship, and in this case, the partnership. I mean, it was you and me and nature, and I think we did it. Thanks, Wendy. And maybe I do have some family members here. I'm not going to make it a wedding reception and introduce everybody, but we've got a couple of wonderful grandchildren. Yeah, this is my son Gary, my oldest grandson Ryan, and then Jenna and Jesse. So anyway, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Drink wine. And get food.
Thank you.
Yes,
It's